Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Conversations We Need to Have. We have such a very special lineup for our round 2 of our virtual singing showcase. So I want to go ahead and introduce our judges before we bring on our first special guest, who is not a participant, but they are a special guest who have decided to come on and participate as a performer. So we have Mr. Dan Spiffy.
How you doing?
We have Mrs. Rachel James.
God bless.
And we have Miss Bless you. And we have Miss Sherelle Clay.
I do.
Yeah. So how y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful.
Doing well.
That's good. That's good.
Thanks for having us.
So what are y'all expecting from the singers tonight?
A lot more. I want more. We got a little bit of what they were, so I want to get some meat and potatoes tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, since I had to dip out, I'm expecting a lot more.
Okay.
Meat, potatoes, veggies, and a dessert.
Listen.
Okay.
So
Feed me.
what I'm expecting, and maybe I'll be different from the other judges, I don't know. The first thing that I'm going to be listening for is if we gave you any criticism last week, how you applied that criticism. And the second thing that I'm going to be listening for is what are you showing us this week that's different than what you showed us last week? Not just in terms of applying the criticism, but also, you know, if you sang a gospel song last week, are you doing a different genre this week? Are you doing a jazz song this week? You know, show some breadth of what you can do. And then the last thing that I'm looking for is so at least me personally, a lot of the people that I voted to put through last week were people that I wanted to hear more from. It didn't necessarily mean they were the best or the worst or the favorites or the least favorites, but this is somebody that I want to hear more from to see what they can do. So what are you giving us that's different from last week? How have you already grown as a result of being a part of this competition?
I'm so glad you said that, Spiffy, because yes, I totally agree with that. I think the first round, they were coming in, a lot of them were bottled with nerves. They said that, you know, they were trying to figure out what to do within that 1 minute time frame. So they were kind of rushing through some things, but hopefully now they're a lot more relaxed and confident and did use the tips that we told them. And I'm so glad that you said that they weren't, you know, it wasn't that they were just the best or whatever. It was that we wanted to hear more, because some of the ones that didn't make it, were bad. And when I say bad, I mean like, good, okay? So it was not, please, no. It wasn't just because it was like the best. No, it was people that we were, you know, I was interested in. It you know, piqued my interest. So I do want to hear more confidence. And as far as like, since you know we're going to be looking at them, hopefully they are confident enough to portray the emotion of the song in the way it's supposed to. So if it's a happy song, yeah, then you can portray that passion. But if it's maybe a sad song, you know, emulate the passion that goes towards the song. Everything can't just be like, you know, so more paying attention to the emotion of the song. I would like to hear.
Okay.
And if I can jump in, I'm gonna say this real quick for you guys before you get on here and do this next round. I would suggest if they have a second or two before you start singing, I would like to know what your goal is, why you entered this competition. and what your goal, what are you trying to get out of this? I would like to know that.
I think that's a really great point, Rachel. And if people didn't already say it this time around, I was going to ask them in terms of what are your aspirations as a singer? You know, are you looking to sing professionally as a artist? Are you looking to sing professionally as a background vocalist? Are you looking to sing professionally as a worship leader? Or are you just looking to sing at your church, in your living room? What is, you know?
Exactly. Be honest about that. If you just want to be a better singer and don't have a goal or aspiration, it's not like we're going to count that against you, but just, you know, let us know.
Yeah, that won't necessarily affect
It won't.
How we think of you in terms of who we vote for, but it will affect the type of criticism that we give you once we know what your goals are.
Bingo.
Okay. You good? Y'all good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're going to do, I want to introduce someone who's going to be one of our special guests for tonight. So I'm going to bring them on. And this is Mr. Phil Anointing. And he's going to be performing for us. So everyone.
Everybody, I just wanted to take a moment out while the anointing was on me. I didn't realize that the anointing was on me so strong. But I just wanted to share this because I know someone may be wondering why when I sing, I just lift my hands to Jesus. What do that really mean? Well, I just have to tell you, I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eyes is on the sparrow. That's the reason why I love to praise Him. I love to praise His name. I love to praise Him. I love to praise His name. Oh, I love to praise His holy. Something about the name Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. It is a sweet. It is a sweet. This name. I know. No means no. No means no. Not yes. Not yes. No. It is the. I didn't say the. I said it is. It is. It is up. It is up. It is the sweet. It is the sweet. Sweet. Not sweet and sour. Not sweet and sour. Sweet. Sweet is name. Sweet is name. No who. How? I hope that blessed you. God bless your hearts.
I hope that blessed you all.
It absolutely did not.
Okay. So
wow.
Yeah.
So glad that's over.
Yes. Never do
so
that again.
What advice would you give our guest singer?
I wouldn't say a word.
You just wave your hand.
I mean, he's so confident. So, I mean, hey, he can conquer the world at this point.
Well, I've actually seen singers like that in many, many churches across America.
Of course.
And that's all I'll say.
Amen.
So we're going to move on to our first performer, Miss LaShawn Brown.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So wanted to know, why did I become a part of this? I thought about it because in the beginning I didn't know what it was about. But then I thought about it lately, and I don't get a lot of feedback from people when I sing, as far as singers. I always hear, "Oh my God, that was amazing, that was good." But as far as, grow, a way that I could grow, where someone would see that, okay, look, that was good, but let me tell you this, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? Why you should, certain things that I could improve on. I really don't get a lot of feedback on that right there. So as far as last week, I thank you guys for the feedback that you gave me. What are my plans and my dreams? I love being a worship leader. I do plays. I sing on Disney Cruise Ship. So just to continue in the direction that I've been going as far as singing, and as far as my growth, whatever direction that God sends me. I love singing gospel music, but doors have opened in other areas. So if he opens it in other areas, that means that's where I'm supposed to be versus where I want to be.
Okay. Any questions from our judges, or okay? So you can just state what you want to sing.
Okay, I'm singing the Moan song from Jennifer Hudson.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta moan. When I'm weak and despair, when it seems that no one cares, when I'm scared of messing up, when the pressure seems way too much, when I feel like I can't go on, that's when I sing and I moan. Because my mama taught me everything I know. That's why I sing and I moan. I sing and I moan.
We'll start with Dan.
Really? You gotta start with me? I was gonna wait and see what somebody else said first. So first of all, I really liked that you gave us a taste of something different than you gave us last week. Last week, I'm looking at my notes, you sang Billie Holiday. And this week you did Jennifer Hudson, which is which is very different. And also Jennifer Hudson is a very ambitious singer to cover because she does the most. That's what she does. So we can't criticize anybody for doing the most covering Jennifer Hudson, and you really have to be able to pull it off. I really liked the choice of showing your breadth and your diversity. I don't think this was as well suited to you as the choice you made last week, but I like that you tried it. The criticisms that I have are really the same criticisms that I had last week, looking at my notes, which was it's still and hearing your resume, maybe you're not nervous at all because it sounds like you do a whole lot of performing, but I still kind of get the impression that you're a little nervous and you're a little rushing and that you're not relaxed. And I think it would have been a little more effective without that. And I also I wish that there were some cases where you used vibrato that I wished you wouldn't have. But again, I really liked that you showed something different, and I think you pulled it off.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll jump in. I wanted to say, and I'm going to piggyback off of what Spiffy said because I agree with him. But I'm going to go a little further and just say how important I feel it's just so crucial, so important to choose the appropriate songs for auditioning or for, you know, stuff like this, showcasing. I want to ask you a question. What style of singing do you enjoy the most?
Jazz.
Jazz. Okay. So you would say that's your forte?
Gospel mixed with jazz.
Gospel mixed with jazz. So would you say this song you chose would be in that?
I thought so. I mean, I really felt that when I was listening to it. I was really trying to find something really that I could do a cappella versus trying to find something that I needed an accompaniment with.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not asking this because there's a right or wrong answer. I'm just trying to see what you think is in regards to your song selection. Go ahead.
I mean, I just honestly wish that I could have, I know that there's an allotted amount of time. And I think that what I did was I was trying to compact it versus trying to do the entire song because we only have a certain amount of time. Not trying, not saying using it as an excuse, but I was really trying to pick out certain parts of it that would fit in that allotted amount of time.
I'm gonna give you a little suggestion. This is just my preference.
Please.
Whenever you're auditioning, I call it my basket of go-tos that I know I can nail. I'm not that ambitious to be trying new stuff, on the whim and say, hey, let me try this song. I think it might, especially if you're thinking that you have to pick and choose certain parts to try and bring it together to create this moment that you're trying to achieve. Because then you second guess yourself, and now you're like, well, I feel rushed. I don't know if I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. So always have a song in your basket that you can nail. That is your forte. You say gospel jazz. Okay, so I consider Yolanda Adams. She's one of my favorite artists. She does gospel jazz to me.
And I had one.
See, don't second guess yourself.
I second guess myself.
Yeah. Well, do we have time for her to give us 30 seconds to the Yolanda Adams song?
Hey, I'm open.
I could care less about the time limit. Yeah. I want to see what people can do.
I ain't got nothing to do.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
I know that there are times in your life when the wheels just seem to turn and uncertainties about your tomorrow seems to grow. One thing you should remember, and you should always know, out of everyone who loves you, I love you the most. For I am just a prayer away. Call my name with your heart, and I'll hear every word you say. And when you cry at night, I'll wipe your tears away. Just pray, my love, and I'll be right away. Keep going.
First of all, that's one of my favorite Yolanda Adams songs. Okay. And I feel like that better suited your voice because that when you go to the hook, for I am just a prayer, it shows so much control, so many different dynamics. I feel like that was a better display.
Thank you. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Sherelle?
Second guess.
Is it? I was gonna say too, ditto to everything that they said, and also a bit of advice. I can hear that when you sing, and it's not even just when you sing. I was listening to you talk. You talk fast, all right? So because you talk fast, you're gonna have a tendency to sing fast as well. So when you feel like you're moving a little too swift for yourself, because sometimes you can feel yourself going through this tunnel of fastness, and then it just and you're like, oh, and then a little bit of panic starts to come in, and then so in order to avoid that, find a note, land on it nicely, breathe, and then let it go again. Especially because it's not you have no accompaniment. It's your world. Okay. So just use that as a as a clue. Anything that you slow down is going to sound better. I promise.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Mr. Elijah Bell. How's it going,
Hey,
sir?
I'm going well. How about you? How about you?
It's going good. Going good. Love the hat.
Thank you, sir.
Judges, any questions?
Hi, Elijah.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to reiterate what I said at the beginning about your goal and why you're here. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I'm here again is I'm all for constructive criticism. I want to be a better artist. Also, I'm into background singing and all of that as well. I am a worship leader at my church, so I do want to enhance in whatever area that, can make me a better singer, better artist, better songwriter, whatever I can, do. And my goals are to get into jingles and all of that stuff, that commercials and all of that, and voiceovers. I want to get into that one day. So that's just kind of the goal that I have long term, but short term, I just want to be a better artist and a better singer.
Can I ask you something really quickly?
Yes, ma'am.
Being a better artist and better singer, and the word better is so subjective when it comes to vocal coaching. I hear that all the time, and then the one thing that you think they may want is something completely different. So everybody's so different. So what specifically would you like to have better?
Control of my voice.
Control of your voice. Okay.
Better control. Knowing when, being precise on certain highs and lows. So that's kind of what I want, as far as vocal, ability. Okay. I want to be better.
Okay.
So tonight I'll be singing Walter Hawkins, Thank You, Lord. Tragedies are commonplace. All kinds of diseases. People are slipping away. The economy's down. People can't get enough pay. But as for me, all I can say is, thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. There are folks without homes, living out in the streets, and the drug habit, some say, they just can't beat. There are muggers and robbers, no place seems to be safe. But Lord, you've been my protection every step of the way. Thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me.
Okay.
We'll start with Rachel.
Elijah, I think that was excellent. Here's what I want to say. Let me ask this first. Is that a song you normally audition with?
No.
Is that like a go-to? It's not a go-to?
No.
Okay, because I could see your wheels turning while you were singing where you wanted to go. And then there was a spot where you just It was, I could, like, I was watching you more than I was listening, and I could see you just like trying to navigate, where am I going with this? You have an amazing gift. Amazing.
Thank
Now
you.
what you need to do is couple that with your preparation and practicing and like really honing in on what you want to do and doing it.
Okay.
So it's totally fine with, I think I said this last week, practicing the song you're going to do over and over and over and over again, doing the same exact thing over and over again, so you know what you want to do. It's cool, yeah, we're in the church, we want to get on stage and flow and try new things, but when you're doing something like this, you need to lock in. There should be no hiccups, because you know what you want to do. You know where you want to land. You know when you want to take off. So that would be my only criticism, but your voice is dope.
Thank you.
I loved it so much. When you were talking about before, the things, your aspirations, and when you're going from your highs to your lows and being more precise, I would say pay attention to the color of the notes, of your notes, and then play with that more. So I could hear, like, when you were going to that, sin to be saved, but you, and then I could hear you gumming, because the whole time you pretty much have a nice, your voice is deep. So you're starting nice and chesty, right? And then the say is really kind of at the top of that chest voice. So you pretty much stayed chest the entire time. So if you want to give it a little more extra, a little more zhuzh, and then play with the dynamic of the sound more, I would say, I was actually talking about this today in a session. I was teaching them about chiara, I think it's chiara oscura, which is an Italian word which means lightness and darkness. So it came from painters who would paint, and you could, with the shadows, and they would paint with the light and the darks, and it made it the color come out more. But the same vein, you can use that with your singing, and make, light and dark. So for instance, seems to be saved, seems to be saved. So when you're practicing going from your chest, so find the lowest part of the song and then find the highest part of the song, and then practice making it dark, practice making that same note light, and then practice mixing them both. So light would be that brassy sound, that dark would be that together. So if you want to practice more on that, I would say you can play with that more. And then doing that with dynamics, so with volume control, like that'll just make it so much more colorful and almost kind of like not classical, but you know how, like, not Broadway-ish, but like it's been like a picture painted. You hear people say,
I gotcha.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it'll kind of give you that. That's what I got. But everything was great. It was so good.
First of all, let me just say, Sherelle, you are amazing. In case I haven't told you this week, I should probably tell you every week, but not to take anything away from any of our contestants or Rachel or Zach. I guess I don't mind taking anything away from Zach, but yeah, Sherelle gets all the credit for all this amazing criticism that she's giving. So I feel like, and I'm not disagreeing with anything the other judges said, but I feel like more or less you nailed the performance. My thing is, last week you sang what I think Rodney Bryant, and then this week you did Walter Hawkins, and I wanted to see something different from you. Okay. I would have loved to have seen more diversity in your song selection. I understand sticking with what works, when you're trying to advance in a competition. But I would have loved to see something completely different from you, especially if you're trying to get into commercials and jingle writing and stuff like that, which is a very different style of singing. Everything that you did was perfect for the song, for gospel. But if you did that in something more commercial, it would be too much. And right. And if that's your goal and your aspiration is to go in that direction, I'd love to hear you sing something that doesn't involve all of that and fits more with that kind of, and Sherelle and Rachel could tell you more about that type of singing.
Gotcha.
But that's what I would have liked to have seen from you. That said, I think that again, you absolutely killed the song. So it's not like it was a bad song choice. It was well suited. You were comfortable with it, even though you were thinking on your feet. But I would have liked to have heard something different.
I agree, because different songs have different outcomes. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I totally agree with you, Spiffy. That's some good knowledge right there.
Okay. All right, thanks, Elijah.
Thank you, man.
Okay, next up we have Miss Sunyetta Clark. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm well. Our judges, what are your goals as far as why you entered the competition, and your long-term, short-term goal that relates to your singing?
Well, I entered the competition. First of all, simply, I love what I do. I've been singing all my life since I was a kid, growing up as a pastor's child. I've always loved singing and ministering to people. But I entered the competition because I am a singer and songwriter, and I felt like this platform, of any platform, would be good for exposure. As far as getting my single done, I have some music that I'm trying to record and get out. So I think that this would have been a good avenue for future, and it's something that I just enjoy doing. I love what I do.
Okay. So what any questions for my judges? Okay. So what are you singing for us?
The song is titled Forever by Jason Nelson.
Okay.
Okay. I'll be committed to you. I'll never leave you. Nothing in this world can make me walk away. No matter what life may bring, I'll be by your side. No matter what you face, you won't be lonely. Because forever is a long time, and that's how long I love you. That's how long I love you. Forever. Forever is a long time, and that's how long I love you. That's how long I love you. Forever, I'll love you.
We'll start with Dan.
Is it Terrell's turn to go first? I thought we were trading off.
I'm the boss.
Okay. He said he's the boss. So first of all, I loved that you took the criticism we gave you last week. I can tell that you listened. Because what you did for the most part this time is you sang the song. Last week we told you essentially we loved your tone, but you were doing a lot, and we just wanted to hear your tone without all the extras, and you did it. So that's a huge thing for me, is that you actually listened to the criticism. That shows that if we give you more criticism, presumably you'll listen to that and get even further and further. So that I loved. I could tell that you loved the song. Did it start out kind of low for you?
It did.
So, I mean, speaking from being a church musician, among other things, I mean, I hate transposing songs from, one key to a completely different key when you have to worry. Then you have to figure out, do the background parts, do they become too high or too low? And then some things are in guitar keys that can't be played in different. It gets complicated, but I wonder if you would, especially since we're a cappella here, I wonder if you would have been better off bringing it up a little bit. When you did add some nuances, sometimes you didn't nail the pitch of them. And it was easier to tell that because you weren't doing as much. So the good news and the bad news about simplifying is it'll help you find your problem areas. And I think if you listen back to the recording of yourself, you'll hear, oh, okay, when I added that little flourish to that note, that wasn't quite on key. I think you'll hear it now that you're, thinking in that mentality. So, and Rachel and Sherelle, being vocal coaches, can tell you more about exactly what you did and what you should do. But my biggest takeaway was that you actually, took the criticism from last week.
Okay, if I can just say this real quick. I didn't feel like that was a good song selection for you. And I hope I won't sound like a broken record for the rest of the night. It's so important. It's imperative to choose the accurate song for your voice. I feel like you chose the song because you just liked the song and not that it complimented your voice. Because you were just kind of here. I'll be committed to you. Na, 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 na. And like Spiffy said, if you probably would have brought it up, half step, maybe even a whole step, something more comfortable, because that beginning part was low and I was just kind of like, because it sounded like you were just trying to dig for it and it didn't sound comfortable. I love your tone. Like, we know you can sing. So now you're here in the second round. It has to go another level. Like, now what's next? I need some colors. I need some dynamics. I need you to finesse it. I need the song choice to be on point. So all of these components and variables come together to create the perfect moment for you. And when I say perfect, I don't mean like everything is lining up exactly right, because we have flaws, we mess up with, but the excellence that you bring to it, that's what we need to see that. And I don't feel like I saw that.
Sherelle?
I kind of agree, and I see what Rachel is saying. I think what happened is the range was a really husky one for you. But let me ask you this. Have you been singing a lot this week? Or talking a lot this week?
No.
No?
No, I haven't really sung a lot. I had death in the family. That may be what you're hearing.
Oh.
And actually it was today. So that may be what you're hearing.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't want that to be the reason that I didn't come and sing. So I'm one of those that kind of, singing is my comfort. It's my my peace. So it's one of those, if I don't sing, I feel like I've been defeated. So I think that's probably what you all are hearing.
It sounds, yeah, you kind of have that just woke up in the morning sound. So I think that was kind of maybe why, I don't know if that's why you picked that, because it kind of stayed, it kind of plateaued. And then you did that, love you. But because that again, I said this last week, those high fours kind of get stuck in the throat. All right. So
can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
Can we give her 30 seconds to sing something else of her choosing, since the song selection was not I guess her best pick, and we will sort of use our judgment on who gets that opportunity, and I think she deserves it. So and
let me
if you want to present.
When you start singing, I was gonna say, let me say this real quick before she starts singing. When you go to a high, I know it may be hard, but try to resist doing this, because it's gonna take all the space in the back of your throat. So if the high is high, it's gonna, so watch this. It's gonna take all the space. So I know it's hard, but try to resist doing that, and you may be able to land that note, those highs. All right? I'm gonna mute myself.
Ms. Clark, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Kind of caught me off guard. Let's see. You deserve the glory and the honor. Lord, I lift my hands in worship and I bless your holy name. You deserve the glory and the honor. Lord, I lift my hands in worship and I bless your holy name, for you are great. You do miracles so great. There is no one else like you.
There's no one else like you. I hope that was better.
Judges?
The beginning of it was definitely more grounded. It didn't sound as because you went over that that hump to the hue. It's more here. But yeah, again, I'm sorry about the death in your family, and I can hear that affected a lot of vocal tonage. But my advice still stands, and I pray for you.
I take it.
All right, thank you, Tanyetta.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Miss Brandy Little.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Hey there.
Yes. How are you guys?
We're
Doing
good.
well.
Good. So I decided to be a part of this competition because all of the great benefits, if I am the lucky person to win, you know, the vocal training, the recording of the song, and everything just hold on. Do y'all hear my heartbeat? It's racing. So I'm an artist. I've been singing my whole entire life, like the last contestant just said, since I was about 4. And I want to do this professionally. I'm going to do this professionally. So I think another contestant said that this is a good platform. You know, any platform is a good platform. So anytime I have a chance and an opportunity to sing, I want to do that. And so here we are today. And I'm going to sing Nina Simone.
Before you start singing, when you say you want to sing professionally, can you go into a little more detail about like what you mean?
What's going on?
What's going on with what? What'd you say?
What you're doing professionally? Tell us some of the things that you're doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I also act. So right now, I'm doing my little acting thing. I have this little TV series that's out on Amazon Prime, which is pretty cool. But music is my first love. So writing songs and singing is like my therapy. So I'm ready to dive into music. It's always kind of been something that I've been intimidated by because growing up in church, you know, we sing with the choir. So anytime they would ask me to sing a solo, I'm like, who? Me? And so the more confident I get like in myself or is really getting confident in God, the more I realize that this is a calling of my life and it's something I'm supposed to be doing. So I kind of have to put myself aside and just walk into my purpose. So I haven't recorded any music as of yet, but I am gearing up to start working on my single. So yeah.
So what are you singing for? You said Nina Simone, so you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Birds in the sky, oh, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, oh, you know how I feel. Breeze is drifting on by, you know how I feel, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Can I do it one more time? I know, you know.
Yes, we was waiting on more.
I know. I was like, wait, keep going.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right, let me do it one more time, okay?
Okay.
All right. Birds in the sky, oh, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, oh, you know how I feel. Breeze is drifting on by, you know how I feel, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, oh, you know how I feel. River running deep, oh, you know how I feel. Blossom in the trees, oh, you know how I look down, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. That's it.
We start with Sherelle.
I love Nina Simone so much. So much. Yes. So first off, yes to the song selection. I'm glad that you sang another song other than Amy Winehouse, because you and Amy kind of have the same mouth space thing going on. You don't sound the same, but you both have that prominent ow kind of tone. You know how I feel.
Yeah, you know,
The ow tone.
yeah.
I love it all. I love it all. So yes to that. I'm glad that we got to hear what you sound like, your style. And when you started before, you actually started a half step down and you went up. But I was listening to see if you were going to be able to climb, and you did. And I did like how you were taking your time on certain things. Now, I do feel like when you did it again, you were trying to make sure that you found a good approach. So you were searching for approaches. I saw that a bit. But I'm glad that you didn't do what most singers default to, which is like running down, running down, running down. I'm glad that you took your time. You know how I feel, because it helps to kind of control when you're trying to, look for things. And, I'm not going to beat the dead horse. We already talked about knowing. Oh, my bad. I'm hitting buttons over here. We already talked about, knowing what you're going to do before you sing. I could hear the acoustics in the back. I could tell that was a nice little tizzy touch there.
Right. I shouldn't get no credit for that. Just that's all the house.
I loved it.
It ain't even my house, so.
I used to find parking garages to sing in and record. So like people, I like stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, I was gonna say great song selection. Make sure that you're landing. If you're gonna make a move there, you land your moves. And I'm feeling good. 3 notes. Feel instead of feeling good. If you're gonna do that, feel good. You gotta make that that's what you want. Feeling good would have been a more stylistic approach there. But other than that feeling that I kind of, was creeping up on you, and I feel like that may have contributed to it going up a half step too. Harder to control going down. But yeah, anybody else?
I just everything Sherelle said, like everything, 100%. I'm just going to reiterate that I love that you picked this song for your voice. You know your voice. You know what works. You know what you're capable of. You know your weaknesses. You know your strength. And you leaned on your strengths with this song. And so I commend you for that. That's all I got to say.
Thank you.
So I think I said this last week. One of the things I love about you is the second your camera is on, there's sunshine. And that's just your personality. That's who you are. But that's, me, when I'm looking at performers and artists and singers and musicians, that's something that's important to me, is how you come across. It's not just what you can do. It's how you connect with your audience. And I love that about you. I love that your voice doesn't sound like everybody else's, and you're not trying to sound like everybody else. It's funny what Sherelle said, because last week when you did Amy Winehouse, I thought maybe you were kind of trying to sound like her with the things Sherelle was talking about. But you weren't. That's just naturally how you sing, because you did the same thing here. I agree, and I think it was Sherelle that said with the biggest criticism was that sometimes when you did moves, you didn't land them. And she gave a perfect example with it be, a run is 3 notes or 2 notes or 4 notes or however many notes it is. You have to actually hit all of those notes. You can't slur through it. And you did that a couple times. And then at the end, you did a few things when you were coming back and forth from the real high register where you were flat. And again, singing a cappella is hard, and not everybody is born with perfect pitch, but that's definitely some stuff to work on. like I said, I love your voice. I love that you don't sound like everybody else. Just for my own curiosity, I'd love to hear what you sound like singing somebody else that has a unique voice, whether it's I think I was thinking of like Etta James or Erykah Badu or even Billie Holiday. You know,
Yeah.
I'd love I am gonna disagree with Sherelle on one thing though, and I never thought in my entire lifetime I would disagree with Sherelle. So I'm not a singer and I'm not a vocal coach, but I am somebody who's worked on records and produced records and things of that nature. I hate it when singers record stuff in echoey spaces. Just give it to me dry, and then we can add all the little extra stuff in post or not, because you can't take a. This is not a criticism of you, Brandy, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there since we're educating the people on this show. I hate it when. So I started out doing guitar tracks. That was, you know, I play a few instruments and have done some production work, but that's what I started as a guitar player. And I was always taught you don't put any extra effects on there. You don't put any reverb or anything on there. You give it to the engineer dry, and then the producer and the engineer can add. You can't take away. You can only add. So personally, it's a pet peeve of mine when singers, even if they're just recording stuff for something like this, when they go and record and they listen, they go to the echoiest room they can find, because it sounds good when you're there, but it doesn't give you anything to work with when you're actually producing the record. So I guess it kind of depends on what you're recording for. And then something like this, where it's not being used for anything else, the natural reverb is probably helpful. But just for singers who are trying to record stuff and then send it to a producer, like here's an idea for a song, even if it's not the track that's going to be used in the final, it's better to have it dry. You look for a space that doesn't have any acoustics. You look for a space that doesn't have any reflections. I always use the example, like if you go into an old Catholic church and they barely need a microphone, but then try to play drums in there and it's a nightmare. Whereas you go to some of these modern churches and you need a microphone to hear somebody who's 6 feet away, but it's perfect acoustics for recording. So that was just a commercial break that I hoped helped somebody. But again, I agreed with everything everybody said to you, and I agreed with the things I said.
Thank you guys. All right, bye.
Okay, guys, we're going to take like a 90-second break to run a few things, so we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Nick Farley, owner of Mind Blown Creations, LLC, where we believe in bringing vision to life and making moments last forever. Look, if you need graphic design, if you need a website, if you need photography, if you need videography, look, we are the team for you. I want you to go now to www.mindblowncreation.com. Check out our amazing rates and our prices and schedule a consultation today. We can't wait to serve you.
Oh, welcome back. I want to give a shout out to all of the people who helped bring this together, including our judges, Dan Newman, Sherelle with Cellco Music, Rachel James with Bridges, Hooks, and Stuff.
Bridge, Hooks, and Stuff Entertainment. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Blueprint Productions, Conversations We Need to Have, the Liaison Initiative, Mind Blown Creations, Gateway Realty, all collaborated to put all of this together. So shout out to all of our sponsors, all of our people who put this together. So we have a very special, I guess, situation, we're going to call it, with one of the young ladies. I had people inboxing me, threatening me, wondering why this young lady was not in the top 10. And so we are going to pull a wild card moment and bring back to the stage Miss Ashley Hale. I think you're muted.
You.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, hi.
I had people calling me, inboxing me, like, why is the girl that we couldn't see not in the top 10? So we can see you now, so that's a good thing.
Yes,
So,
I took Dan's advice.
yes. So, judges, anything y'all want to say?
Sing, child.
Sing, boo.
Okay. You ready? You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Soon I will be done with the troubles of this world. Troubles of this world. Troubles of this world. Soon I will be done with the troubles of this world. I'm going home to live with God.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in. I want to hear something else.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I want to hear something totally opposite of what you just sang.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something I can throw at you that's like top 40. Y'all help me. I just want to hear the brightness in your voice.
Okay. I can do. There's a song that PJ Morton has on one of his other albums is I believe it's Walking. I can't remember the name of it, but you want me to go ahead?
Sing it.
Okay. Never in my life has it felt so right, and I believe this time will last forever. Oh, in my whole wildest dreams, could I ever believe that this could really be forever? Oh, whoa, oh.
It's something, even last week when I heard your voice, you just sound so seasoned and just like it's Lowry's, it's Tony Chachery, it's Mrs. Dash, it's all of these. It's just, like, you know what you want to do. Like, and you're a smart singer. You know where you want to go. Sherelle. You know where you want to go.
Yeah, I felt that in my soul.
Like, it's just, I don't know. You just captivated me with your voice. It just drew me in. I just sit here and stare. Like, okay, yeah, she's a smart singer. She knows what she wants to do. I'm glad you're the wild card. That was a wise decision.
Thank you so much.
Well, first of all, Rachel, I thought it was Tony Chache's. Have I been saying it wrong all these years? I don't know. I should ask my wife. I don't know where she is.
I need to ask my husband. He's from New Orleans, so
find out and get back to me.
I'm gonna find out.
So, Rachel beat me to what I was gonna say, which is to do something different because, and well, first of all, when did you find out that you were coming back?
Literally like 2 seconds ago.
Okay, see, that's what I figured. I figured you didn't really have a chance to prepare anything, and you went to something safe. But if you had been somebody that would, was prepared to come in, I would have yelled at you for doing things that were too similar.
Yes, sir.
But I'm glad that Rachel asked you to do something different, because then the PJ Morton song was my favorite thing that I've heard from you so far, and the most that I'd like you to singer. I like the tone of your voice when you go to that, what she called it, the brighter stuff. I really enjoy your voice, and I agree with the criticism that you make smart choices. The one thing that I would like to hear differently, and we're not going to ask you to do anything else today, unless Sherelle does, but the thing I would like to hear differently is when you do something like that in that brighter range, I would like to hear it with either, again, I feel like I sound like a broken record. Either some notes don't need vibrato, some notes need less vibrato. You have that church vibrato. I'm assuming you've been singing in choirs and things like that for years. You have that kind of gravitas about your voice. And then you picked a choir song the first time around. So obviously you have a choir background, but not, especially those New York choirs that they just drop their jaw and do the huge vibrato. And it's, oh, she's gone.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
I would like to hear the purity of your voice without any vibrato, or at least with less of it, because again, I think when you got to certain passages, it was more than what was needed. But again, that's not necessarily the same thing as doing too much in terms of runs and stuff that you're adding to the song. It's stuff that you're adding to the note.
Got you.
So that's the biggest thing that I'd like to hear differently. And if you do get the chance to sing for us again, I hope you don't pick a gospel song, because I want to hear more from you in a different. Again, we know what you can do as far as gospel. I want to hear more from that other world, so to speak.
Okay, no problem. Did you want me to sing now?
No.
Okay, all right.
Sherelle, did you already go, or?
I ain't gone yet. I agree with what Spiff and what Rachel said. Actually, your voice is just beautiful. And your choices, when you pick a choice, you pick a choice that you can land, and I definitely appreciate that, right? I appreciate you taking the time to land your choices when you're going to do that. And just like Spiff said, play on your brightness. You have a very husky, wet, humid voice. Is that even a thing? But you have kind of like humid, like an oboe. You ever heard like an oboe?
Yes.
You have oboe voice. Okay, so with any song, and it sounds so good. It's beautiful. But if you do that through the entire song, it's gonna make us feel a way. I don't know. I can't explain it. So go into those bright spots, help release some of that tension from that husk in your voice. I know, I have it. I've got that voice too, right? But yeah, just play with all of your tones. Play with your brights. I said this before. If you weren't on the thing, the chiaro oscuro, the brightness and the dark. Play with all. Play with singing the song in just your bright tones, making that sound good. Play with singing the song. You don't have to play with singing the song in your darkness and the husk of your voice, because you kind of sing from there. You sing that from chest to husk. I feel like it's how it sounds. But just play with all of those things, and it'll just make you so much of a well-rounded musician, because you're already so good. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Okay, next up we have.
1 second, Zach. Dan, it is Tony Sasha.
Okay.
I just looked up the commercial.
I've been saying it wrong for a very long time.
Okay, next up we have Barry White and Luther Vandross' Love Child. Dexter Davis.
Oh, that was funny. I'm sorry. Hey, hello, my name is Dexter Davis, and I I really am trying to figure out why I said yes, because I hate competitions. I really think I am a product of those people that will never be famous, but they did the footwork to produce humbled musicians and singers. I'm from that world. And so I'm grateful for the people that never made it, but took our time to care for us kids who never got a chance to be around the stardom, but they taught us how to be humble in our craft.
So what do you want to do, even if it's not stardom? What do you like to do? What do you want to do with your voice as far as singing? Like, what the most you see yourself doing, or do you see yourself just staying the same? If the same, like what are you doing now, kind of thing?
Well, no, I don't want to tote amps and keyboards any longer. I'm over that phase of my life. Church did enough of that for me. I want to, honestly, now that I have a second chance at singing, I really want to do it professionally. But I had to come into the knowledge of I can do this. I've heard people say I can sing, but I wasn't sure. And so the critique that you guys give, I'm trying to take it and, become more confident in what I do. I haven't always felt like I was confident in my singing. Been a ton of places, done a ton of gigs, done a lot of things, and got a bunch of praise. But it was like, with it being so competitive, I never thought that I measured up. So now that I realize that all genre of music is received, I really think there's a place for me in the music world.
Okay. So you ready?
I am. And I apologize because I prepared, they said we could bring music, and I realized everybody's saying a cappella today, but I've been sitting in front of this keyboard for the past hour and a half, and I'm gonna use my piano. And then I'll drop it at the end, if that makes a difference. Gonna sing Here's My Worship, Smile by Tasha Cobb. Here's my worship, take joy in it, make it your dwelling place. I want to put a smile on your face. I present my heart to you. I present my life to you. Here's my worship, take joy in it, make it your dwelling place. I want to put a smile on your face. I present my heart to you. I present my life to you. Here's my worship, smile. Here's my life, Lord, smile. Here's my worship smile. Oh, here's my life, Lord, smile. Here's my worship, take joy in it, make it your dwelling place. I want to put a smile on your face. I present my heart to you. I present my life to you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, ma'am.
And please excuse me if you've already said this. My brain is all over the place. Is gospel your goal? Like you want to sing gospel music? Did you send yourself in?
Did I what?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I had a moment. But no, I didn't. To be honest with you, and I was raised singing gospel, but jazz saved my life. So if I did gospel, it wouldn't just be your come on, put your hand together, praise the Lord. It would definitely be me in a suit with a piano, and I would definitely add jazz to it more so than I would a gospel feel.
Yeah, you're giving me like Will Downing. Like I'm sitting back like, oh yeah, he has that smooth tone. But I also hear, and I've said this to someone else that sounded like this person and they got offended, but I'm saying it with the positive because I love this person's voice. But you give me like Jaheim notes. Like the end of your phrases is very Jaheim. It has like this classic sound to it. And I think that you should definitely play off of that. I was asking about gospel, but yeah, I could hear you in another lane. That's what I wanted to say.
I'm inspired by it all, like more so gospel, the jazz genre, all like more so. Yeah,
I can tell.
I definitely
go ahead, Trell.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of order. No.
I'm sorry, I hear echo. I don't know where it's coming.
We're not following.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I agree with Rachel. I definitely heard Jaheim notes. Make sure this isn't me. I'm turning my mic off. I don't know if it's me. Maybe that helps. Is it gone? I don't know. Anyway, but that was really, really beautiful, Dexter. It was very nice. You definitely gave me, when you said the suit, concert, pianist, concert, singer, I felt that. I don't see you as like a typical worship leader. I see you sitting down and people coming to listen to you sing. You're more so, but really, really beautiful. I would like to hear more of those highs. But smile is, well, I can't say that because the song does have a lot of highs at the end. Smile, wanna make it smile. But of course, there's no choir and everything. That wasn't the route you were going. But that is kind of the climax of that song. So because you didn't do it, it kind of left it at a plateau a little bit. So it wasn't boring because your voice is juicy enough to be interesting, but I would have liked to see more from that, but still really, really good.
So let me just do another commercial break real quick. That that noise you're hearing in the background is because Dexter isn't using headphones, so it's picking up us talking and going back in. For any of the other contestants that come on, if you can use headphones, it'll make it easier for you to hear, and it'll make it easier for everybody else to hear. So that's just anytime you're using this kind of streaming platform, that's the reason why we all have our headphones on. It's to prevent the feedback through the phone or the computer or whatever you're using. So if anybody who's coming up next has a chance to go grab their headphones, it'll help. Remind me, Dexter, what you sang last week.
I sang Luther's Dance with My Father.
Okay.
Again.
So, again, I feel like every week we're just going to be a broken record. I liked that you picked something different than you did last week. You showed us some range as a singer. I liked that you picked the Tasha Cobbs song because that's not something I would normally anticipate somebody with your type of voice singing. You know, Tasha Cobbs has a very big, high worship leader voice. And I thought it was a good song choice in that it showcased your versatility. I don't think it's as flattering a choice as the Luther, but I mean, and one of the vocal coaches can correct me if I'm wrong. I think when you are showcasing your versatility, some things are always going to be more flattering than others. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. I liked, maybe it's just the way the sound is coming through with this, you know, with the streaming and the phones, the microphones, everything like that. I liked it better when you did the little bit a cappella. I felt like just hearing the purity of your voice, it took away from it to have you playing at the same time. I appreciated that you did, but I really enjoyed the part that was just you. I think the biggest challenge that you have is finding stuff that suits your voice, but also shows that you can do different things, because there's certain things that you know you're good at, and there's other things that are that again show some versatility. So it's not really a strong criticism, because again, I liked your performance, but like I think it was either Rachel or Sherelle that said it would have been nice to have something that showed a little bit more range, pitch wise. And again, I think you're definitely more comfortable in the vein of the things you did last week versus the worship song. But I enjoyed it.
And the next time I remember that, I wanted to go to that range because I just got my voice back. I had surgery in January. I had a mass on my vocal cord. And so I haven't had any therapy or anything to work out the kinks. And I'm learning to take my voice back up. And I got the range, but I was trying to go the jazz way. And next time I know to take it there. Thank you for the.
Well, it's better. What'd you say, Rachel? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Make sure you get your rehab on your voice. That's important after having major surgery on your voice.
Well, COVID came and they shut everything down at Emory, so I haven't had a chance to. But I'm trying to find another way so that I can get what I need, because I think it's going to help with building those muscles back up. And I've been working on some things on my own. Yeah.
Well, Sherelle, do you do that sort of thing? Could you do it remotely?
Of course I do.
Well, there you go.
Of course you can.
Problem solved. There's the connection right now.
Problem solved.
But I did want to follow up and just say that if you were at all worried about going there because of the surgery, sometimes it's smart to play it safe. Not always. Sometimes it's smart to take risks, but sometimes it's smart to play it safe. So I think if you thought that there was a concern about going to that range, and the fact that that's why you kept it safe, that's understandable, and it may have been the right choice.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So I want to pause and talk to our singers. What have you guys thought about the first half so far?
Wait, who you said? You said singers.
You said singers.
Judges.
Okay. If I can be honest, I'm still waiting for that moment where somebody just blows me away. I don't feel we had it yet.
Me too. I feel like I don't want y'all to, if this is what we came across. And last week, I know we were saying that, be careful with the embellishments, but we weren't saying like just be safe.
Pull back.
Yeah. We want y'all to land those exciting parts and land those sweet parts and just land it. But we still want y'all to like give us the meat and potatoes. We still want it.
Okay. So next up we have Miss Kimberly Dennison. How are you? I think you're muted.
I am. Hello. How's everybody?
We're good. So what is your goal for entering the competition, and what you hope to do with your singing in the long term?
My goals for the competition is just to, first of all, be known to the nation that as I sing, is not just to perform, but it is telling a story. It is to encourage someone that may be going through something, that hopefully and prayerfully through my singing, it'll bring them through something that they're going through, to know that there are better days, and just to encourage them through my way of singing. And just, I'm wanting to be professional. I'm wanting to, I grew up in a church. My parents are pastors, and so I grew up as the pastor's daughter that led praise and worship. And so I'm seasoned in that area, but I also naturally want to learn music, not just knowing how to sing gospel music, knowing how to lead praise and worship, but the actual foundational music and the where I can go as far as a different range, because I'm a natural alto. I desire to sing soprano, but it doesn't always work out that way. But I just want to be able to know different breathing techniques and just to get better.
Okay. Judges, any questions?
So, and my apologies if you said this, I don't think you did, but I might have missed it. We know from both what you said now and your performance last week that you're a church singer and a worship leader. Are you trying to do things outside of the church and outside of gospel, or is your goal to stay either within the church or at least within the gospel genre?
My choice is to stay within the church, the gospel genre, to sing. That's my comfortable zone. That's me.
Okay. So what are you singing for us?
I'm going to sing another rendition of "Thank You, Lord" by Amber Bullock, a cappella.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready?
Mm-hmm.
Tragedies are commonplace. All kind of diseases, people are slipping away. The economy's down, people can't get enough pay. But as for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Yeah. Oh, folks without homes out in the streets, and the muggers and robbers, some say they just can't be. Muggers and robbers, no place seems to be safe. But you've been my protection every step of the way. And I want to say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Nerve-wracking. I did it.
Rachel, let's start with Rachel.
Kim, first of all, that's one of my favorite songs. It's just a classic song. Walter Hawkins is just a genius, like with the pen. So I think you did that song justice. I could tell you were comfortable singing it. I could see it.
Thank you.
Like watching you sing it, I could tell you love to sing.
Thank you.
And that you believed what you were singing. I'm trying to think of some criticism for you. I think when you're singing gospel, but then you're singing for an audition or like a showcase like this one on a platform, it's always good to still try and connect with people who are watching you.
Okay.
I noticed that one moment you kind of just went off into your own world, which is fine.
Okay.
But still, you have to reel it back in because we're here to see you. Okay. So I need you to connect with me. That would be my only criticism, though. Your voice is dope.
Thank you.
Okay. Sherelle?
Yes, I love that song too. And you surprised me. I thought I've heard Amber Bullock's version. I think the one I heard her sing it, she was like in a lounge kind of a thing. So she did a different way. But I could tell you were doing the faster version of it. So I was trying to, this is kind of weird to say, but I was trying to hear the music for what you were thinking. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's like about what I could guess that the music was doing. I could hear that you were matching whatever. I could tell that you practiced that.
Thank you.
I could tell that you practiced that. You did really, really good. It would have probably sounded like 10 times better if you had music, just so we could have seen where your energy was going on those parts.
Yes,
but yeah, just making sure that you take your time with the song. Not saying that you have to take time with the whole song, but just at the beginning, giving people more to desire, and then opening up will bring out your artistry more. So just fine tuning those things. But
okay. Thank you.
I was trying to think if I've ever heard versions of that song recorded other than Walter Hawkins and then Mary redid it. Those are the only two that I've ever listened to. And I mean, everybody loves that song, so I'm sure there's other versions. I never heard you said it was Amber Bullock that did it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. I'm gonna have to go look for it. I
haven't heard it either. I'm gonna check it out.
I always again, if we're not doing the original Hawkins version, then I always go to the Mary. Because they put a little hump on it, and it's still got the original Hawkins sample at the end, and So my biggest thing for you, and some of this I said last week, we know you can kill Sunday morning. We know you can do that from the first 30 seconds that you sing. Even if your goal is to stay in church and stay in gospel and not deviate outside of that, I'd still like to see you step outside of your comfort zone a little. Whether it's still, I mean, again, there's plenty of places you can go in gospel besides the Sunday morning hits. Last week you did Alpha and Omega. This week, Walter Hawkins. So I mean, even if we're just going to like Kiki Sheard, which isn't that far away, but it's still outside of the stuff you sing every Sunday. I would love to hear you. I would love to hear you do something completely other than gospel. Which again, this isn't strictly a gospel competition, but I understand. That may be too far out of your comfort zone for it to be.
Dan, do we want to put her on the spot to sing something other than gospel? It's up to the judges.
Mr. Williams?
She said no. Is there a gospel song that doesn't sound like gospel,
right?
Danny?
Exactly. Do Jesus Will. That's Sunday morning, but it's a very different. She's different.
Like, I don't know that one.
Jesus
really?
Will.
Okay.
Jesus will. You don't know that?
Okay. Do something else. Do something that's not a Sunday morning staple at your church, but you know it.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay, hold on. Let me
something a little more jazzy or a little more funky.
Can I change it all the way up? I'm gonna ask you to sing something. It's super simple, and I made
ABCs. I trust you. Okay.
And I know you know this, and I want you to pretend that you're making it extra special for me or for us.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna say me. Sing "Happy Birthday" to me, and I want you to sing "Happy Birthday."
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
She said, I'm not leaving the church. I'm not going nowhere.
I ain't got nothing to say. They heard it.
Thank you.
So
you are very skillful. I will say that. Like your placement of your runs, and you take off and you land without turbulence.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Mr. Andres Miller.
Hey.
How's it going, sir?
Going pretty well. Going well.
That's good. So to answer Rachel's question from the beginning, what is your long-term goal as far as entering this competition? What do you expect to gain? And what are your long-term goals as it relates to your personal music endeavors?
Well, just like Sonyetta, and my heart goes out to her, especially about you losing a family member. But when you have music can really, really take the edge off of everything. Music is my life. And especially when you mix it with gospel music or jazz or anything like that, it really is a powerhouse to me, and it really speaks to me and helps me in any form or fashion that I have. But as far as me, like I'm a worship leader. That's my heart. That's my posture. That's what I am. I'm a diehard worship leader. And going forward into this competition, I just want to take up as much as I can, because I mean I'm probably the baby competitor. I'm 19 years old, so really soaking up everything that I can get right now is really my goal. And moving forward, if by some chance that I do win this competition, I just really want to be able to further myself and get that exposure and really put out some songs and something that God's been putting on my heart to do, and really just to be able to be a more networked worship leader within this region.
Okay. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yeah, okay. I will be singing How Deep Is Your Love by PJ Morton. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest hour, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're my savior when I fall, yes. And you may not think that I care for you, when you know deep down inside that I really do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down, yeah, when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me.
And Trez, let me dive in. Okay, I want you to sing that again, but I want you to pace yourself. I don't want you to give it rhythm. Okay. I want you to sing it freely, because I feel like you're trying to stay within the confines of the beat, and you're rushing and you're not completing your phrases, and okay. And I feel like you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish vocally, because you're locked into this. This is, you can sing it at whatever tempo you please.
Okay. I know your eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment you wander far from me, I want to feel you in my arms again. To me on a summer breeze, you keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, and they're breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me.
When I say a light, that was like 100 times better. When you pace yourself and you get comfortable in your song selection, like it delivers so much differently. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all, my light falling. Sorry.
So you make pretty mature choices for being 19. Do you have somebody that has worked with you? Like, do you have a mentor or somebody that has kind of taught you how to make mature choices, or is it just natural to you?
Really, it has been natural to me, honestly.
You listen to a lot of music. You spend a lot of time listening to music.
Oh yeah, jazz, gospel, opera, different stuff like that. You know.
That's where it's coming from. Then that's because again, I think sometimes singers that just sing in church and just listen to gospel don't always know to make smart choices, because it's sometimes church and gospel is about doing the most, and sometimes that isn't the best showcase. So yeah, whatever you're doing that's teaching you how to make those mature choices, keep doing it. I also really appreciated when you came in and talked about how being a worship leader was what you loved so much. And then last week, I can't remember what you did. What, more than anything last week?
Yes, sir.
And I was like, oh, good, he's going to do another worship song. And then you did PJ Morton. So it was nice to see some range from you. I think Rachel really covered the only criticism that I would have, although I actually enjoyed you singing it with the tempo, because you didn't noticeably rush, and you didn't noticeably get off pitch. Like, even though I understood what she was saying about some of your vocal choices being rushed, and I agree in terms of the actual, like, if you were singing with music, you would have stayed on it. Mm-hmm. And so I was checking. I was listening to the tempo in my head. I was keeping track of the key and saying, is he staying on point? And you were. But she makes a good point that a lot of times in doing that, you didn't always finish your phrases. So if anything, I would say that would be something to practice, is to practice with a metronome and then figure out how to fit what you're trying to do with the tempo. Because when you're not singing solo, there's going to be a tempo in most cases. Now, singing without a tempo is called rubato. And we do that a lot in church with Yes, Lord and things like that. But that's not most praise and worship, and it's not most music outside of the church. So that would definitely be something to work on. But that's very nitpicky. I mean, I think overall, you have a lot of things right that are beyond your years.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sherelle?
I can't go because I didn't get to hear much.
Oh, okay.
Right. I'm sorry, prop ministry. I'm having technical difficulties, so I'm on another device now.
Oh, okay.
So I got to hear the little bit of what he did before, and what I heard then sounded really, really good, but it wasn't enough for me to, all I can say is that it sounded really, really good. I remember that da 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 da, that part. And then it kind of started going crazy, so I can't really touch you. I'm sorry, friend.
Okay.
He was good.
Okay. All right, thanks, Trez.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next up, we have Miss Kenzie Mallory.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are y'all?
We're good. So what's your long-term goal for singing?
Long-term goal, I will say, I've been singing since I was about 5, and I have been influenced by music within my family, both gospel as well as R&B. So, yeah, I kind of got, the best of both worlds. So I was influenced by jazz and things like that. So I kind of try to intertwine that in my singing. But as far as professional wise and things of that nature, like I'm just a lover of music in general. But worship, of course, is where my heart is what gets me through, of course. So that's what I'm called to, but at the same time, I'm not biased. I love music in general.
Okay. So what are you gonna sing for us?
Alrighty, so tonight I'm going to sing, it's a medley, it's Out of Hiding, so it's a little medley that I'm gonna do.
Okay.
He loves us, oh, how he loves us, oh, how he loves us, oh, how he loves. He loves us, oh, so as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. So as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. So as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. So as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. Yes, you're already learned.
Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I enjoyed that so much. I knew that I was going to enjoy it when I saw your name. I wanted to hear more of you last week. I'm so glad that your connection is better. I'm so glad I got to hear the full of your song because it was just what I thought it would be. Um, Beautiful. I love the color of all of the changes that you made. I love the color of your deep dark. I loved it. I loved when you went bright, how you thinned it out and it wasn't that you just sang from note to note, you expressed from note to note. And that's something like I'm one of those people and everybody's different. But I'm one of those people that when I'm listening to someone sing, I kind of want to feel a way, I don't like to really be sung at, you know how people kind of sing at you. It's just they sing at you. But with you, and I'm not knocking anybody, but with you, you expressed it. Every word was expressed, every note was expressed. I really, really liked it. And when you're going to those highs, I would have loved it even more. It would have gave me even more just like, ugh, if you would have kind of held on to the highs more and until it got real bright. And then when it was bright, then coming back off of it, you could have really did that. I felt like when you went to your high, you stuck in your vibrato too fast and it didn't give it didn't make it as big as it could have been. But if you would have just like stuck on that bright spot and kind of um almost kind of sustained it and then put your vibrato there and then came back down because you came back down so gracefully. It just make being ever so careful for those like little things that I'm being super picky because for you need someone to be really really picky because you're that kind of a singer. You can absolutely you kind of give me a song that I feel like you would probably kill. And I know a lot of people do it, but you could really probably kill Greatest Showman, Never Enough. You have that kind of, I'm trying to hold my breath, that I can't explain it, but it's so beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Kenzie, oh, honey, you have such a rich tone. I wanted to ask you to do something for me. Okay, what is the I don't know if it was the hook or what is the only become? What was that?
And so as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story.
So now do it, jump and do an octave.
And so as you and so as you run.
So okay, so here you go. Go back to so what are the words? I'm sorry.
And so as you run, what hindered love?
Okay, let's go back to the I'm sorry, I probably threw you off. Let's go back. So give me the words. Just tell me the words.
And so as you run.
So if you do it, so as you run. Next line.
What hindered love?
What hindered love?
Will only become.
Only become.
Part of your story.
Okay, all of that. Now this time do it an octave higher. Da 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 da.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And so as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. And so as you run, what hindered
Why didn't you do that the first time?
Don't spank her, please.
That, because we hear such depth in your voice on those low notes, I wanted to hear some contrast. So as you build, like, let me hear something else that you weren't doing before. You have such a beautiful voice. I don't think I got to hear you last week because I had
It was
right out. But no, like, this is very refreshing to hear tonight.
Thank you.
I did want to say, there was a moment in there I felt like you were second guessing yourself. You started to do something and it just, you kind of got off track.
Yes.
But then you came back. So I commend you for being a smart singer to kind of reel yourself back in. But as we've been sharing with other singers, know what you're going to do before you do it. So you won't feel insecure in the moment. Like, you're confident, you know what you're going to do. But
sure.
other than that, amazing.
Thank you.
First of all, remind me what you sang last week.
PJ Morton. It was like
okay.
a little.
I remember. Yeah. So I'm glad Rachel asked you to do that because she totally changed some of my notes that I had. So first of all, the music that you had, was it pre-recorded or is there somebody there playing?
It was my husband playing for me.
Say that again?
My husband, he was
okay. Because first of all, I want to commend you on presentation. Presentation is important. And you have the backdrop, you have the microphone, you have the musician. That gets points alone for me, at least. I can't speak for anybody else. So what I was gonna ask you before Rachel cut in, I was gonna ask you if those low parts were too low for you, and then if it was a real musician for you to, as opposed to a track, for you to take it up. But then hearing you do it an octave higher, do you normally sing in that lower range? Is that like where you're kind of used to?
Yes, I do sing. Like, I sing in G. Like, that's where I'm most comfortable. I sing in the key of G. So I'm an alto. Like, I love low, but I guess for some time when I was singing, I was put in the soprano position. So I guess I just had become accustomed to like singing higher. I don't know, just but I love to sing low. Yeah.
Because originally I thought it was too low, and then when I heard you go high, I realized that it wasn't. It's too low. It's just that you're more comfortable there. You're used to singing low, but you have the capability to sing higher. So I feel like you need to. I mean, if you don't already know your range, and I feel like you probably do, you need to know your range, and then you need to spend more time practicing at the top part of your range, because the accuracy wasn't there at the top part of your range, but it's clear you can kill at the top part of your range. I'm getting the impression you don't spend enough time there, and I would love to see you work on that, because you were able to execute some stuff in the lows, but at first it sounded like it was too low, and I was going to say, well, can you bring the key up? But then, like I said, when you got to the higher part, it was like, okay, she can do this, but she's not as practiced here. So that's my big criticism.
And can I say one more thing too? Since y'all were talking about her kind of coasting in those lows and then her not being comfortable with the highs. And the highest part I want to say was when you did that story, right? Story or whatever that is. E is already a closed tone. So trying to hold on to an E is not fun. Singers don't like E's for that specific reason, because it's real, everything is pushed together. So stylistically, if you wanted to get used to coasting more in that, play with diphthongs and play with other phonetics. Like Leandra does it all the time. PJ Morton, he does it all the time. He does this this thing where he goes from E to A. Just watch, listen to a song. He does it all the time. So in the sense with that story, you could have opened it up to that story, right? And then just put that E at the end, and it would have opened up your sound a whole lot more. But again, that's a stylistic kind of artistic thing. But I agree so much, Dan. Please play more with your highs and get more comfortable with them, because it's beautiful.
you.
Yeah, let me add one more thing. And this is definitely with yes, with what they both were saying as far as getting comfortable with your highs, because I know you said you're comfortable singing low, but you know that can become very monotonous and very boring at times. So yes, you're comfortable there, but your audience may need you to take it somewhere else. Because if you have a song and you're here, and then your next song you're here because you're comfortable, then your next song you're still here, I'm gonna be like, wait, I want my money back.
Yes.
So please practice, practice, opening up and you know, different types of songs, different styles, different genres that will increase your range. And even like, you know, going from chest to mix to, you know, whistle to whatever, like you want to explore every avenue of your vocal ability. That's all.
For sure.
Thank you, Kenzie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Miss Rosa Borden. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're good. We're good. So what's your goal for entering this competition, and what's your overall musical goal?
Honestly, I don't know why I'm in the competition. I wasn't really expecting to make it. I was just doing it really because it was kind of like, I guess what everybody was saying, like exposure, and you know, like I've always wanted to sing professionally, but I'm a church musician, and the type of music that I like to sing is frowned upon in church. So um, I'm not gonna say I want to sing professionally long term. I just like to sing feel good music and make people feel good while I sing. So I mean, it'd be nice if I could have a career getting paid while doing what I love and making people feel great. Um, I'm sing in a lot of bands and everything. So um, the criticism and stuff that I get here, you know, I would take that and use it when I'm on stage.
Okay. So we're ready for you.
Okay. I'm like Dexter. Everybody sing acapella, but I've been working on this for 2 days. So I'm gonna try to do this on my keys. If I were your woman, you were my man, you have no other woman, you'd be weak as a lamb. If you had the strength to walk out that door, my love would overrule my sins, and I call you back for more. If I were your woman, if I were your woman, and you were my man, yeah. She tears you down, darling, says you're nothing at all, but I'll pick you up, darling, when they let you fall. 'Cause you're like a diamond, but she treats you like glass. Yet you beg her to love you. For me, you want it. If I were your woman, if I were your woman, if I were your woman, here's what I do. I never, never, never stop loving you.
I loved it. I'm not gonna say anything, but I loved it. Like I could tell you practiced, like you were prepared. You knew what you wanted to do, like that.
So I'm gonna be Rachel and ask you to do something because she didn't.
Okay.
So I appreciated that you said that you're a church singer and musician, but the type of music you love is frowned upon in church. I, grew up in church, and some churches definitely frowned upon me playing outside of church. I can relate to that. But I want to hear you sing whatever is your favorite song to sing at church. I want to hear some oil because you've given us 2 weeks in a row of really great smoky jazz club songs. Now I want to hear the oil.
Okay. Sometimes it feels cold and you feel all alone. But hold on, better days are coming. It could be rough, in this world. I know it ain't easy, but hang on in there. I know better days are coming. Is that good enough?
I still want to hear. I want to hear you do something you would do for praise and worship, because that's still kind of closer to the other thing. Because that's like a solo song. I want to hear something.
Dan, she's from Dooley County. They've never heard of praise and worship.
I was gonna say.
well, then they still doing devotion, and she can do devotion.
We do devotion.
Do devotion, then. Just give me 10 seconds. Just 10 seconds.
It's like a congregational song or something, or just.
I really want to hear you do like how great is our God or something like that. But if you're not a worshiper in that vein, then yeah, do a congregational song or do praise Him or do Okay, what's your
praise Him? Praise Him. You know that one? That would be a great one.
I don't know.
You don't know that?
Do you know any hymns? Well, what a friend we have in Jesus.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer.
Bruh.
So the only criticism I have over all three things that you did is sometimes when you went into your high register, you went flat. And I'm gonna be real harsh with you because you are a musician and you're sitting in front of a keyboard. So there is no excuse for that. But other than that, I love your choices. I love your tone. I would love to hear you learn some praise and worship songs because I feel like you have the oil, especially when you did that hymn just then. So I'd like to really, really get some oil from you because you clearly have it in you. But I also feel like that you executed everything that you did very well. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Listen, I wanted to hear you sing again and again. When they made you sing again, I was like, yes. When Dan picked another one, I was like, yes. I don't want. This week, I enjoyed you. Not that you didn't do good last week, but I enjoyed you so much more this week. Sometimes the accompaniment, could go A or B, but I kind of felt like, you sound good singing and playing. Like I don't know. You gave me the feels, and your vibrato is very much Ella Fitzgerald-y. And she's my favorite singer in the entire world. So maybe that's why jazzy, gospel-y songs, he's like the oil, because she does this thing where when she holds her note, she kind of takes you away. Oh, because it's like this vibrato, kind of like Judy Garland. Now she floats around. Oh, you just you have this floating. Huh?
I love that you went from Etta James to Judy Garland.
Listen, Ella. I didn't mean Etta James. I meant Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald. No, you said Ella Fitzgerald. I'm the one that screwed it up.
Okay.
I love that you went.
Continue.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to break in.
Oh no, it's okay. I love.
No, it was ethereal. That's the word that my light keep falling. ethereal. When you said that, Sherelle, like it was like her tone was just ethereal. It was just kind of like spacey, out of this world.
Like you make people shut up when you sing. I love it. Like I just want to hear more. You did great. You did absolutely great. Take in consideration everything that we're saying. Dan has something else to say. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's funny to me that we had one singer so far this week that was really, I don't want to say churchy because not churchy, but really like sanctified. And then we had her who just wants to sing the non-sanctified music. And I want to hear them both sing Jesus Will. I want to, I don't know what, because this, I don't know what it is about it. Because I feel like the woman that gave us worship 2 weeks in a row, I want to hear her stretch a little bit, but that's still worship. And then her, she
Stretching
gave us
the
like,
other way.
right, and meeting in the middle is Jesus Will.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that was a commercial break. That wasn't actually for you. I'm sorry. I was just.
Thanks, Joseph.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have all the way from the Motor City, Miss Lauren Fisher. I think you're muted.
There we go. Hi, everybody.
There she
Hey, how are you?
Hey there.
I'm good. How are you?
So what's your goals for your overall musical endeavors?
Honestly, music has been a journey my whole life, lots of ups and downs. And someone earlier tonight in the competition said something that really resonated with me. I feel like where God leads me with music just seems to be where I go. So if an opportunity presents itself, I make sure to say yes with an open heart, kind of like how this came into my life through my friend and voice teacher, Shirley, who Zach, I think you know. Mm-hmm. And so if something presents itself and it feels right, then I just love to say yes. And I just want to sing for the rest of my life. I don't know what the end goal is. I don't know what the end destination is. It just seems to be part of life that's just always going to be. So.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're ready for you. What are you going to sing for us?
I chose something totally different than last week, which I'm glad because Dan had mentioned he was looking for some variety. We sing a song at my church called Living Hope. And lyrically, it just seems to be what I want to say right now in the times that we're all living in, and just the way that Jesus has the ability to bring hope to a situation that's hopeless. So tonight I'm going to sing Living Hope. And I have from my church, Craig, who plays keyboards in our church band. So I have some piano music too.
Okay.
Hey, Craig.
Okay. Hi. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your buried body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Then came the morning that sealed the promise. Your buried body began to breathe. Out of the silence, the roaring lion declared the grave has no claim on me. Jesus, yours is the victory. Hallelujah. Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Hallelujah.
Praise the one who set me free. Hallelujah. Death has lost its grip on me. You have broken every chain. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope.
Wow. Wow. Oh. That gave me chills. Like I have goosebumps. Lauren, first of all, your choices. It's like you were very specific about what you wanted to do. And like you nailed everything you did. Your tone is beautiful and pure and piercing. And like that when you sing, this like conviction. It's like you believe what you sing about. You believe, and then you threw your hands up and I saw the tattoos. I said, "Oh, she for real." Like, what? Oh yes, she ain't playing. You're amazing. I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whoever, Dan?
Okay, I'll go next. So last week, my connection dropped out and I wasn't able to give you criticism afterwards. And I'm so mad about that because I really, really wanted to talk to you after last week. I love the diversity in your choices because last week you gave us En Vogue.
Yes.
And I loved your performance last week. And I will openly admit to being a racist. I'm very critical of white people doing black music. And so like, as I feel like especially like when you have white singers singing black music, either they sing it like a white singer or they try too hard and get into Christina Aguilera territory. And I just felt like it was natural to you and you brought it. And I probably had some criticisms, but I loved your performance last week. And then you did this week, which was something completely different. And yet it was very you. And I really appreciated that range. The criticism that I have for this week, you started very soft and pretty, and then you went into your like giving it your all. And I would have appreciated a little more nuance in getting there. I think you could have kept it soft and pretty a little while longer and before giving us the conviction. Also for me, like, I'll probably, the other judges will probably have something to say and disagree with me. For me, like the way that you sing is very animated. And it's you have gestures and you do, and it was perfect for the En Vogue. For this, I enjoyed it more when I closed my eyes because it's such a pure and simple song, and you were just so animated in what you were doing that it was a little distracting to me. And then when I closed, but some worship leaders and some singers, like the reason I said worship leaders is there's a girl named, I think, Marion Barry, who leads worship at the church that Benita Washington used to lead worship at. And every time she sings, no matter how simple or complicated the thing is that she's doing, she's always like animating every note with her hands. And that's just naturally who she is. And I don't know if she can turn it off. I don't know if you can. And again, that was on point for the En Vogue song. But for this one, I just wanted the purity of the song and the kind of the excitement that you showed naturally kind of took away from that a little bit. But I agree. Like, I loved seeing the judges' faces when you stopped. Like, everybody was like, so again, I'm being very meticulous in my criticisms. Those are very nitpicky things to take issue with. And I also really think that you made a smart choice with, again, a completely different song and having the accompaniment. So, I'm definitely a big fan of this choice.
Thank you.
I loved this song choice. I love this one better than I loved the last one, and I like the last one. You remind me of someone that would make a lot of money singing Disney. Like when you start singing, I immediately went to the Prince of Egypt. I don't know why, but you sound like you could really kill on that soundtrack. Your voice is so.
That was when I
Is it
aspired as a child was a Disney voice, ironically. So thank you for saying that.
But you sound like those people. Very clean. Your choices, like Rachel was talking about, you were doing this this thing, and it was perfectly in the back of your throat, and it was like a click. It was a perfect click. It was so nice. But what Dan was saying when he was talking about how you came in a little softer at the beginning, and then you went to big. And I said this last week. I'll say it again. I always pick at Christians and gospel because it's forte and then fortissimo. Loud and extra loud. That's what they like to give you. But with that kind of song, I would have. Dan was saying, more staying softer and kind of working your way up to that grand. But even if you would have done that, I would have appreciated you if you were gonna just go from small to big, so big, to do the same thing at the end and kind of land it. But you ended with that living hope, and then you ended it off. So if that was what you were going for, I can't fault that because that's what you wanted to do. I would have appreciated it if you would have pulled a little more passion out, because we got so much of the in vogue energy. You were like there the whole time, and I was a little worried, to be honest with you, when you first started off, because the piano kind of, maybe it was in my headphones, but the piano came in so loud, and I was like, I wonder if we're going to be able to hear how she sounds and hear her voice resonate. But I can still hear it resonating. But yeah, just really good, just being more artistic with playing on a passionate song like that. You definitely have to pull some whispery soft moments to kind of drive that home. But very, very, very nice, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rachel?
Rachel went first.
I said my piece.
Thank you so much, Lauren.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, so for our listeners, we've put together something. We need you to stay tuned because we're going to have some remarks from our judges after this special rendition of a song.
Do you hear me talking to you across the water, across the deep blue ocean, under the open sky? Oh my baby, I'm trying.
Boy, I hear you in my dreams. I feel your whisper across the sea. I keep you with me in my heart. You make it easier when life gets hard. Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where I have been. Lucky to be coming home again. They don't know how it takes waiting for a love like this. Every time we say goodbye, I wish we had one more kiss. I'll wait for you, I promise you I will. Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where I have been. Lucky to be coming home again. Oh, lucky we're in love in every way. Lucky to have stayed where we have stayed. Lucky to be coming home someday. So I'm sailing through the sea to an island where we'll meet. You'll hear the music, feel the air. I wore a flower in my hair. Though the breezes through the trees move so pretty. You're all I see as the world keeps spinning round. You hold me right here, right now. Ooh, lucky I'm in love with my best friend. Lucky to have been where I have been. Lucky to be coming home again. Lucky we're in love in every way. Lucky to have stayed where we have stayed. Lucky to be coming home someday.
And this is why y'all get paid the big bucks. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was fun.
Yes, that was amazing.
Zach,
So
you have
what?
been jacking up the names. Who is Soko Music Group? It's Soko Music Development, everybody.
Oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. We'll talk to
you said it last week. It was you.
Okay, well. So I want to take a moment, and I know Dan has a show that comes on Tuesday. Dan, what can you tell us the name of your show and how we can watch it?
Absolutely. So I have a show called Musipolitics. It's myself and my co-host is Michael Bland. If you don't know him, he's probably best known as the drummer for Prince from the 90s on. It's like if you think of the big Diamonds and Pearls drum solo or the big KFC bucket of chicken hat, that's Michael. And we have guests on the show and we talk about issues. So we've had everybody. We had some Grammy-winning musicians. We've had some world-renowned scientists. We talk about music, politics, social issues, Black Lives Matter stuff, whatever topics we care about. But this week, August 4th, is my birthday. So we're celebrating my birthday. We're not going to have a guest. And I really would appreciate it, especially if my fellow judges and contestants on the show, I would love it if you would come and celebrate my birthday with me. That might make a difference in the judging now. So, you can either go to the Musipolitics page. Do you have the logo to throw up so they can see how it's spelled?
Yes.
Or go to my personal Facebook and we go live 7 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. And this Tuesday, it's my birthday. And if you do decide to come and join us, comment so that we know that you're there. Zach's going to throw the logo up, I think. Maybe not.
I'm going to throw it up before we get off. But
okay.
I'm going to throw it before we get off. Sherelle, tell us a little bit about what you have going on with your music development. I don't want to get the name wrong.
Music development. Yes, I'm a vocal coach, and what I like to do, or what I specialize in, is just helping singers be able to use their body to sing. We have our certain styles and our certain genres, but things like that change all the time. And so when you know how to use your body to sing, when you know what you can do, when you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, and you can use your body in developing your body. When I say your body, like diaphragmatic breathing, that's that's in the abdomen area. We don't just use our vocal folds, we use so much. But just learning how to use your resonance, learning how to use the different crevices in your face. You can even sing with your throat. I took throat singing classes. So there's so many cool things that you can do with your body. And so learning how to do that. People learn instruments all the time, but I say, why not learn how to play your own body, because everybody's sound is so different. We all have different, our skulls are shaped different on the inside, so our sound is going to be different. Our experiences from what we listen to is different, so everybody has the potential of perfecting whoever it is that they want to if they learn how to do it the proper way. Most people come to me, they come in saying, okay, I just want to be able to sing without being in pain. And then once they get that, it just goes to so many different other things, because now they have access to doing other things now that they can, now that they've learned their body, and they can, do what they want to produce the sounds that they want. So that's a little bit of what I do. I do so much. I also teach emotional freedom. So I said this kind of a little bit last week, where sometimes it isn't the talent issue. Sometimes we can kind of beat talent into the ground, and the issue is maybe fear, or maybe it's confidence, or maybe you're going through some things with your emotional health, and singing is mental. It's not just the physical, it's not just the talent. There's so many things that play a part in how you can, not only just use your body to sing, but how you can express with singing. So if your emotional health is down, then naturally your what you want to hear and how you want to express yourself through singing is, you're going to have trouble with. So I just kind of help with those few things. If you're interested in any of those things, wanting to become a better vocalist, every vocalist, I believe, if you want to do that for a living, should have someone helping them. I'm not saying just me, there's so many different people, so many different things. We all have different things that we want, but if you are a vocalist, I implore you to get training some way so that you can consistently get better. Because if you're not getting better, you're probably getting worse, because the times are changing and music is always tightening up. So that's what I got. Hit me up.
Great.
And I'll preface this by saying I'm just happy to be friends with a 3-time Grammy Award-winning vocal producer. And I don't name drop often, but when I do, it will be Rachel James. So Rachel, tell us a little bit about what you have going on, and people are curious about your resume, who you've worked with, things of that nature.
Okay, so my company is Bridge Hooks and Stuff Entertainment. I contract background singers for television shows, tours, studio sessions, live gigs, whatever, voiceovers, jingles, whoever calls and checks clear, I book singers for, okay? Right now, I also, I like to teach workshops. Right now we're doing the, sorry guys, we're doing the virtual experience with the Blended Training Day, which is just the educational tool I have. I do it annually. I partnered with Jasmine Crumley with the Outlet for Vocal Expression, and we've done a 4-week extensive hands-on training for those who want to get involved in the music industry as a background singer. So I've worked with, I don't want to get to name it. I've done the Soul Train Awards and the Grammys and the Billboard Music Awards and BT Honors and Sunday Best.
She's so humble. She's very humble.
Yeah, we just.
Can I have your autograph?
Sure.
So we're going to close out for the night, but I need every singer, even if you are not on the competition. We're going to go over to Music Politics on Tuesday. I'm going to post a link in the comments. We're going to go over there. We're just going to have a shed. Musicians, be sitting at your instruments, call in. Would that be a way for us to call in and get on with you?
That wasn't the plan. I'll talk to Michael and see how whether or not we have time. What the plan was going to be our past guests were going to come stop by and visit, and then everybody else was going to hang out in the comments. But we'll see. I won't close the door on that, because that would be a lot of fun. If we don't do it this week, we'll definitely do it another week. By the way, since everybody else got to do such long commercials, I don't just have the show. I'm available for guitar and organ session work if anybody needs session work right here. So I'm very reasonable. I'm not expensive like Rachel.
I am expensive.
Well, since everybody else doing commercials, I'm available to talk. So.
And you know how to talk, Zach.
Yes. So Guys, thank you so much to our participants, to our judges, to our sponsors, Arizona, Nick Farley, Angel, Ocasio, Kenny Pratt, Drop, Blueprint Productions. Thank you all so much for collaborating with us on this and making this a colossal success. Like, it was a colossal success. So we appreciate that. Tune in next Thursday for the final round where we announce the winner of this showcase. So we will say good night for now, and we will talk again next week. We'll see you Tuesday on Music Politics with Dan.
And Michael. I've got to give him credit too.
Yes. Have a good one.